Good evening, everybody. I welcome you to the Sentinel in the name of Jesus. I've been battling for whatever strange reasons. I battled and battled to get this going so that we could start the live broadcast at 8:30 when it's scheduled. But for some strange reason, some technological hiccup here, it was not to be. So again, I'm sorry. My apologies for starting late. I tried to just get it up and running in time, but I guess I need to upgrade my knowledge, my skills in ICT. Okay, and because of that, I'm not fully set up in terms of the way I would like to set up so that I will be able to maintain good eye contact with my audience and their viewers. Nevertheless, just bear with me. Okay, I'm not even typing. While I wait for people to come on, let me just type in what this is about. I did not do that, but let me just try and see if I can just type it in. Edit. Okay, first here. What am I going to say here? Just the title of this is, just join me while I do this. The title of this is the baseline of come on, decency. Okay. What am I talking about here? So while I'm doing this, if you join me, please be patient with me. This didn't go as planned. All right. Thank you, Lord. Oh. Okay, I think I'll do. Okay, so we're joining. Okay, I don't have anybody here. Okay, yes. So I have Olayinka. Okay, thank you for joining. Sebastian Popara, how are you, my brother? Thank you for joining. Gloria, brother, how are you? Um, yeah, Juliet Nduku, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Hey, Sylvia Chinemerema, how are you? Yes, yes. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I just started sort of late. I had some technological hiccup, and as I was saying before, I need to perhaps upgrade my skills. Or is there something, is a sabotaging mechanism built into some of these things, these technologies? And anyway, you're welcome to the Sentinel, and this is Reverend Cyril Okere, and then the Sentinel, as usual, the Sentinel remains the media of Citygate Ministries International. Today, I want to deliberate on a topic I call it the baseline of common decency. The baseline of common decency, and I was saying earlier before most of you came on, I was saying that for whatever reason, I was struggling to set this up the way it will enable me to kind of interact more effectively with my audience and viewers. It doesn't happen. So it's a bit awkward for me, but I'm going to make do what I've got here. Right, the baseline of common decency. What led to this? I had an encounter on Facebook with some people, and I'm not going to go into the background, into what led to what. But I just noticed how people antagonize and how people denigrate and cannibalize each other on social media. Karen Oladipo, God bless you. Thank you for joining. And I thought about that. And these are, whether they're Christians or Muslims or people of no specific faith, it does not matter. Just people just tear each other apart, just over differences of opinion and views. It happens a lot among Nigerians, because I'm from Nigeria and I care about Nigeria, and I frequent the social media to see what is trending and what's happening in the social political landscape, and just the way people deal with each other. It's not just even among Americans, it's happened. And I thought about it and tried to gain a biblical understanding of this. Hey, my brothers, sisters, and times, Mike, you're welcome. Okay. Now, the Bible tells us in Matthew 24, verse 12, it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because iniquity shall abound, because there will be increase of wickedness. One version says, the sin will be rampant everywhere. Another version says, the love of many will grow cold. Because of another one, Berean Study Bible says, because of the multiplication of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. Lawlessness shall be multiplied. Lawlessness is increased, because iniquity shall abound. The love of many shall wax cold. Another one, contemporary English version. Evil will spread and cause many to stop loving others. Oh, that's very plain and simple. Evil will spread and cause many people to stop loving others. Ooh. Let me see another one. Silverstone HK, God bless you. Thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you around. God bless. Right. So let's just think about that. Because of the multiplicity of evil, wickedness running rampant in the society, in the community, even in families, the love of many shall wax cold. People's affection towards each other. People's just call it kindness, simple courtesy shall wane, and we'll see the Lord. In fact, when we consider the social malaise, the social ills that have, that bedevil the modern society, whatever society want to examine, you could call it corruption, call it racism or tribalism, call it murder, killings, xenophobia, ageism, racism, sexism, even the question of rape, child abuse, sexual harassment, sexual discrimination, whatever evil that we notice that blight that kind of affected or infected the society we live in. It springs from these things we're talking about. Brother Lex, how are you? Welcome. God bless. That because of the fact that, yes, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many have not good. So people can just treat each other anyhow. You can see that in our nations. You can see that. Good evening, Alex. God bless. In cities, in our cities, in communities, it's a result of what I call social dislocation in that society, in that nation, in that community, in that village, even in that family. Something has happened that have dislocated members of that community or even subgroups in the community. And if you drill it down just to the brass tacks, you find out that it's just this thing called selfishness, which is the essential definition of sin. Just selfishness. We live in the days where it is increasingly the case that a man's enemies shall be members of his own household, members of his own community, members of his own family, really. It's interesting because, in fact, there's a scripture here where the psalmist, like lamenting the fact that, how do I put this? They lamenting the fact that somebody who is supposed to be a good neighbor, a close neighbor, a confidant, is the one who has raised the heel against him. But let me leave that for now. Let me read this Psalm 57 verse 4 that shows us the picture. It kind of depicts the situation we're talking about. It says, my soul is among lions. My soul is among lions. Think about that. My soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth whose teeth are spears and arrows. Their teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Psalm 57, Psalm 57, verse 4. My soul is among lions. I'm supposed to be dwelling among human beings, but he says, but my soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. I mean, who wants to live among people like that? But that's the situation we find ourselves. But remember, Jesus declared it, that the love of many shall wax cold as a result of iniquity on the increase. In fact, this I referred to before. It says that's in Psalm 55. Verse 12 says, if an enemy were insulting me, I could endure it. If a foe were raising himself against me, I could hide from him. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship, as we walked with the throng at the house of God. That you could feel the pain of betrayal, the pain of antagonism coming from somebody you should trust. Now, if somebody could betray, antagonize, vilify, gallivanize somebody who is so close, let's say a brother, a sister, a friend, a close friend, a husband, a wife, then what do you expect from the people who are somewhat distant from you, like your employer or employee, like your neighbor, few doors down the road, like the person you see on the street? It is the aggregation of these little unfaithfulnesses, and I use that word deliberately, these little betrayals, these little interpersonal disloyalties that culminate and add up to the wider social malaise that we all complain about. As I say in my language, if we say that the town or the city or the village is dangerous, it is people that made it dangerous. It is people. It's not some wild animals that suddenly prowling about. It's people that made it dangerous. It's us. Like Paul wrote to Timothy, he says in the last days that perilous, dangerous times shall come, because people shall be basically self-absorbed, self-gratifying, self-obsessed, self-centered. So if I'm self-centered and I care only for myself, and that I don't care about my neighbor, and my neighbor doesn't care about me, and they don't care about the next person, and the next person doesn't care about the next person, then the society will not be safe. That community will not be safe. That village will not be safe. That nation will not be safe. And that is what is a culmination, an aggregate of our individual loyalties. Little corruption here, little pilfering there, little theft there, little lying there, that are culminated to what we all complain about. So it boils down to what I call lack of, that we have ignored, we have moved away, we have the baseline of common decency is eroded, is gone. So that if the usual what used to be is, if I have a different opinion, you say something, I say, well, I beg to disagree, and we can argue it out. And if you have a superior argument or reason behind your position, then I agree. Okay, if I respect the truth and of noble heart, I could say, okay, all right, I see your point. Okay, I agree. Or if I don't, I say I don't agree, I will shake hands and go. But no, I have to attack you, I have to denigrate you, I have to insult you, I have to do what? Uphold my views. We see that in social media. It's like what has been unleashed on humanity. People can just trash each other, like just over simple things. And it's happened among Christians. Yes. That's why it concerns me most. Okay. Let me yeah. Now, if you now escalate all that to, let's say, even in international context, Dan, you do. God bless you, my brother. If you now raise that, escalate that, even in terms of international politics and international relations, the same thing, we see the same phenomenon, we see the same pattern, the same condition. That again is rooted in interpersonal dysfunctionality. That I don't agree. I will not agree with you. You raise it, you escalate it to let's say Russia versus America, China versus whatever, all this trade war and all this diplomatic, friction that is shaking the world and affecting the economy. It's just because of human ego, perhaps just two powerful leaders, and their personal agendas. And so the whole world is shaking. I remember years ago, during the time of John Major. John Major was the Prime Minister of Great Britain then, and he came up with this policy of a return to family values. That the nation should return to family values, so that there are some things that are some values that need to be rediscovered, because he noticed that the people have drifted away from those things, so that people can do anything, betray anyone, sleep with whoever they want to sleep with. So let's return to family values. Of course, the way the press, they savaged him, the government. They attacked him, and every sleaze, everything that was happening, every hidden thing that was happening among in the government, or even in the lives of people in government and of the Conservative Party, they were just kind of blown open. Some scandals, sexual scandals, financial scandals, different things, and the whole thing was just to say, "Look at you, say family values, ha 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 ha." And of course, that culminated in the John Major's affair, the affair he himself had. But then, of course, they shrank back, and since then, no other government has come up to say, "Let us return to the ancient landmark. Let us return to what it used to be," because almost like they're afraid of what the media and opinion molders will do. So also, when John Major, not John Major, Tony Blair came up, his then Foreign Secretary, the late Robin Cook, came up with ethical diplomacy. Of course, they were attacked again. They put back, because iniquity is just no, like almost like the opinion molders, the media, the people that shape the culture. They don't want people to return to that baseline of common decency. They don't want it. But somehow it serves them for people to just be at each other's throat. Just I can betray you to make money, and you can betray me to make money, to gain fame, to whatever. But in so doing, though, we create a dystopic a society, a dystopia, really. A condition where the falcon cannot share the falcon, things fall apart and the center cannot hold. And then we turn around, we blame the politicians. Yes, in fact, they are part of the problem. But they are not just them. It's not just them. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what am I doing to create that have contributed to this general malaise and social malady? What am I doing that created this dystopic condition? I'm saying that the individual acts and actions of perfidy, mendacity, lies here, unfaithfulness, disloyalties, they contribute to what we complain about. So before we point accusing fingers at anybody, let us look at ourselves. First, I'm beginning to restore those common, just simple courtesies, simple kindness, simple, just love in just within the limits of our human error and limitation. Okay, let me just put it here. Now think about this. Why do we like to live in communities? It's not many of us. Emmanuel, hey, Emmanuel Akiboye, how are you? Welcome. See, when you are looking for somewhere to live, whether in a village or in a little community in the city, most of us will prefer to live where there are other people, where you have neighbors, hopefully good neighbors. Not many of us will choose to live to be disconnected from the mainstream of the main society of the where where we can find neighbors. Where we choose to, we don't go and and just find somewhere in the middle of nowhere and set up a tent or a house. And why? There is a Yoruba proverb that says, saying that people are my, basically means people are my covering. Okay, people are my clothes. No, my clothing. People are my covering. In other words, we are mutually connected. We depend on each other for protection. Because you see, there are in a normal society, decent society, there are things that I can't do even if I want to do it. There are things that cannot, that people cannot do even if they want to do it. They can, because of the other eyes looking at them, the moral majority looking at them. So it's like a restraint. They are not. They can't. Richard the Corporal, God bless you, yeah? And they can't do what they would have ordinarily done if not for the eyes that are watching. For example, you can't just see, let's say, an elderly woman walking on the road on a busy street, and you go and try to rob her. In a decent society, some people are going to take you on. That's why we like to live in communities. It's for protection. It's because we look after each other. There's mutual support. Even in our services, our respective jobs and businesses and what we do, it's like we serve each other with our respective specialisms and talents And before I used to be treated by butter, I bring salt, you give me meat, and another person needs oil, and I they give something else. Oh, sister Nadia, how are you? God bless. So that's his communal life. We depend on each other. I love this film, an old film, movie, the Jewish thing, Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof. It just displays that community life. You have the butcher, you have the baker, you have the matchmaker, you have the one that says milk. You have the rabbi. Fantastic stuff. Yes, that's community life, and that's why we live in communities. But if within that community there's no cohesion, there's dislocation, we attack each other on basis of race, gender, color, language, then there's no community. That's where it talks about that a human, if your fellow human being had become like a ravenous beast to you, like I read earlier, so I live among lions. Human beings becomes as ferocious. Hello, Sister Nadia, how are you? Human beings becomes like a ferocious beast, like serpent, venomous snake, to fellow humans. That's where we are. And social media is not helping. That's where we are. We attack each other, we vilify each other, we destroy each other, we cannibalize, we eat. Hey. Paul told the Galatians, say, watch out. If you're attacking each other, you might end up eating each other up. You might end up eating each other up. Be careful. I'm calling also for us to return to that baseline of decency. It doesn't come for being perfect. Just the way Jesus put it. Treat each other as you would like them to treat you. So the society or communities thrive on the belief that the average person is sane and good enough to assist when you're in distress. That is a general belief, and there should be, at least, that the average person you see on the street is sane enough, moral enough, ethical enough to step in, assist, intervene when you're in distress. That the moral majority will defend you against antisocial sociopaths or psychopaths. Because of our shared human values and ethics, we can call on, let's say, Uber taxi and expect the driver to take us to our destinations. Simple faith. You can stand in front of another person by the roadside on the railway, what do you call it? Yes, Richard, yes, I wish Nigerians would watch it. Really, I do wish so. Thank you very much. You can stand in front of another person by the roadside or on a train platform and do not expect the person to push you onto an oncoming vehicle or train. You don't expect that. Yes, it happens sometimes. When that happens, it's like, is that person crazy? Is he? Who released him to the society? It's like that person must be a mental case, because you do not expect that to happen in a decent society. Somebody, can you imagine the kind of paranoia you will feel if anytime you see somebody, you think they're going to do you harm? You think they're going to attack you? You think they're going to rob you? You think they're going to push you onto an oncoming traffic? You think hey, that is hellish. But it is getting to that point where a man's neighbor becomes as more dangerous than a lion from the wild. Is becoming that way. Jesus puts, he says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. All right. It is the same simple faith in the goodness of mankind that we can work for an employer and expect to be paid. That you can, pay somebody, mobilize them for a job they need to do for you, and they turn up to do the work. Actually, you don't. Yes, some people take your money and leg it, but that should be an exception rather than the rule. But it's fast becoming the rule. You see, all these social assumptions, all the social and cultural assumptions, I'm saying that they are getting eroded before our very eyes. The world we live in has become so perilous because people have become self-centered, self-absorbed, and self-gratifying. Wow. We are losing the baseline of common decency. In some parts of the world, including Nigeria, some parts of Africa, and other parts of the world, people take advantage of the vulnerable. They take advantage of children, of women. I've always questioned. Question is not the word because I understand why, but I've always, it's always been a concern to me that people will cause war, crisis, riot, usually men, and then when when there's a breakdown in law and order, when there is war, the greatest victims are children and women. Generally. So people take advantage of the vulnerable, the children, women, the elderly, the foreigners. In some parts of Africa, India, and China, if you're different or part of the minority amongst the dominant population, you are the risk. You are at risk. I've seen some YouTube clips where foreigners are beaten up, are barbecued on the street, like South Africa. When they descend on fellow Africans and who are not from their country, they just roast them like suya. Humans become like beasts, wild beasts to others. In Nigeria, it's happening. Hey, Pastor of Wale, God bless you. It's happening. Albinos are not safe. Albinos, they're not safe. Anybody with hunchback is not safe in my country. It's a reason for ritual. Stray children who just stray away, they are not safe. A lonely woman or lady coming up, let's say the lonely road or quiet road or at night is dead meat in most cases. And we call that society of humans. My soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. But you see, all these things are open to God. God sees. That's the saying, as somebody says that the measure of any civilization is how the people treat the most vulnerable among them. So in decent societies, special initiatives and policies are put in place to protect the vulnerable. In Nigeria, for example, when the marriage breaks down, the women are chased away with nothing, chased away. Or if the husband dies, then the vultures, in the name of relatives of the deceased, will swoop upon the wife and the children. Oh, God bless you. Pastor Wale Grillo, yes, thank God. Swoop upon the widow and the children, say we know to collect property, particularly the children as you are young. It is devilish. But in decent societies, there are laws. You can't just do that. Like you can't do that, because civilized nations or societies, they take care of the vulnerable. Children are protected. All these children, like in Africa and Nigeria especially, out of school children not given future, they send them out with bows to beg or to hawk on the street, just exposed to the prying eyes of wicked people. And we say we have government. We say we are a decent society. And we deprive children of their future. Over here, if your children don't attend school, you are in trouble with the government, because the decent systems will protect. I'm not saying it's perfect here. Yeah, there are issues, but I mean, the decent societies protect the vulnerable. And I'm finishing now. So to retrace our steps, we have guidelines. Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." That's the basic. That's the baseline. So what you don't want others to do to you, what you don't want others to do to your children, how you don't want people to speak to you, don't do that to others. That's basic. I mean, that's basic moral law. But there is a higher moral maturity, so to speak, because Jesus again says that talk about a man laying his life down for his friends. Define that as true love. When a man lays his life down for his friends, it's a question of altruism. You sacrifice for others. That's another level. You sponsoring children who have no one to sponsor them, rather than let them hop in the streets. But let's start from that baseline of common decency, treating each other with respect, because everybody deserves respect, irrespective of what they have or don't have. I tell people, say when we were born naked. Nobody was wearing a money suit. Nobody was wearing a Rolex watch. Stark naked, and yet people are celebrating your birth, because your dignity and your respect is not put on you like a money suit or Rolex or whatever ring, whatever. No, you have God-given dignity from birth as human, made in God's image. Before you do anything good or bad, It is there. That's why people were popping drinks, because you were born. Celebration. Why then do we attack each other and rob them of that dignity? Because of difference in politics, of views, of religion, or whatever. So love your neighbor as yourself, Jesus commands us. There is something here. Proverbs 17, verse 5. Proverbs 17, 5. It says, whoever oppresses the poor, yeah, in a lot of societies, the poor are not to be seen. See, but whoever oppresses the poor, and I include that the vulnerable, the blind, the lame, the stranger, the foreigner, that has no right, so to say, God's eyes are open and God's heart is jealous concerning these people. The weak, the infirm. So whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker. You insult their maker. Another version says, whoever oppresses the poor taunting their maker. You know? But whoever is kind to the needy honors God. That's Proverbs 17:5. Proverbs 14:21 says, if you want to be happy, be kind to the poor. If you want to be happy, be kind to the poor. Okay, I've talked a lot. I will leave it here. Whoever oppresses the poor. Jesus talk about, say, anyone, say, whatever you do to the least of these ones, the least of his people, the least. You can include the poor, the albino that people want to use to make money, the disabled, the poor, the beggar, yeah, that child, that orphan, that widow. Whoever oppresses them show contempt to their maker. And Jesus said, if you do anything for those, the least, whatever you do to them or for them, you do it for him and to him. So let's be careful. There is an eye, a divine eye, cosmic eye, watching over the poor and the vulnerable. Their maker will come for a return match. He come to revenge and to retaliate. Okay, I leave it here. God bless you. Thank you very much. I thank you, Pastor Wale Grillo. God bless you, Richard Popra. God bless you, Sister Pastor Nadia Flora Williams. God bless you, Emmanuel Kiboye. Hey, bring my people. Yeah, Reverend Dana, you do. God bless you. Yeah, Alex Babudo, God bless you. Silverton Ejike, you're welcome. God bless. Caesar Times, yes, great seeing you the other day. God bless you. Carol Oladipo, God bless. Sylvia, God bless you. Yeah. Juliet Ndogo, God bless. Gloria Opara, God bless you. Thank you very much. Olaiko Kere, God bless. Thank you very much. And have a great week. I remain Reverend Cyril Okere, and this is the Sentinel. God bless. Bye-bye.